I'm just going to start looking at what's selling. We are still seeing a record number of listings hitting the market, but I think that isn't really the big story because not all of those listings, as we've continued to talk about, are appropriately listed. And then there are people that are still out to lunch.
More of the same, and some changes, few changes, I guess.
We did reach over 500 sales, which we haven't since July. So combined with the residential and the condo sales, we did hit over 500. So that's positive. We haven't seen that.
And we're also noting that, one of the typical stories we can talk about there is the story we've been hearing, like from South Windsor, there's 30 houses for sale. Why are there 30 houses for sale? Well, because nobody's really making them ready to sell. Really, they're basically selling what they've got, and basically that's it. And that's not really a good thing because basically the buyer today, they want a move-in ready house that's really done up and finished that I don't have to touch, right? And if you don't do those things, it won't sell.
The need for buyers to return to our market is quite high, but they are not returning to the market unless there's something that really excites them. And so, the few houses that are selling, those are buyers that know exactly what they want. And it's the houses that are done up that are actually moving quicker because it's less work for a buyer. And when they have this many options, of course they're going to go for the one that may be just a little bit more expensive, but less work for them because people don't have a lot of extra cash right now.
Yeah, it's really, it really is, the old story, bang for your buck. I'm trying to get the biggest bang for my buck. And that applies to houses too. I'm trying to get the best buy that I can get out there. Something
though that I think should be a conversation in Windsor-Essex in general is we are the only urban area with over 400,000 in our population that actually has an average price point under 600,000. So in all of Ontario, we are really setting ourselves apart for an affordable area to invest in. That's something I think buyers should know because this isn't an area it's not gonna stay like that forever because we are very well positioned for growth with the different development that we have. And it may be a tough time right now, but I think in the new year, we may see a little bit of a turn and hopefully attract some good people to come down to Windsor-Essex and take advantage of those average prices.
Yeah, I think, and that's really if the comment in our podcast today is really about affordability. Mm-hmm. We are very much, in terms of a larger city or larger CMA, if you want to call it that, population for Windsor-Essex County is roughly 475. It's that we are affordable, mm-hmm. and you get all the amenities of a large metropolis, and you're affordable, and that's not very often that you're going to see that. Certainly, you don't see that in Ontario, and as Amber just said, we have always been there. And that hasn't changed. So we see the differences. We see the differences particularly in larger centers like Toronto where prices drop some 9.5 points and you had a drop of 4.5 points in London. We don't get those drops here. Why? Because we already are affordable. We're sustaining that kind of value because the value is at a lower price. And that's really kind of important for all of our sellers to know and also for buyers to know that we're not seeing a lot of big price drop. We had a price drop of about 0.5 point. That's been all year long. It hasn't really changed. Well, because it is affordable, it's where it belongs, right? It's finding its plot.
Yeah, our homes under 550,000 last month, we saw 289 sales. And then over 550, we saw 210. So, the sales above 550 are certainly slower. It requires more patience and you will have more time on the market. But for the homes under 550,000, we are seeing those ones move a little bit quicker than your higher market. So that's, I think that's great for us and why we've been able to remain stable throughout the past year.
I mean, all year long, it's gone up 0.5 point, gone down 0.5 point. But basically that price, if you look at a graph, that graph is like flat. And that's basically the way it's been all year. And really, you think about it, there's nothing really to talk about. But yes, there is, because I think sometimes people think all buyers are hearing what's going on all over the province. Mm-hmm. The big drop in Toronto, the prices are dropping everywhere. They think that our prices are dropping as well, or they should be, or I'm waiting for them to drop. Well, they're not going to drop. No. Okay, so the buyers have to come to an understanding that because we're affordable, those prices are not likely going to drop anywhere soon. But at the same time, the sellers are recognizing that the prices are not dropping either. So the point of it is that they don't want to cut their prices because they think their prices are right. Well, that's not necessarily the case because you are much more competitive. So the buyers are going to the houses where they're competitively priced right. Other sellers are not competitively priced, and so that's where the problem. And we're talking to our salespeople. Talk about the competition now, not just the price, the competition that you have. How many other houses like yours are for sale, wherever they happen to be? And that's what you're competing with. If you're not priced right, the other guy's going to sell first.
The most popular style of home would be a bungalow and a ranch, combined almost 200 sales in that category of, basically one floor living, which is interesting. The least popular is a raised ranch. So I know those are actually probably the most readily available in new builds and also in resales. So to only have 41 sold in the month of October, it's just something to keep in mind. If you have a raised ranch for sale, you definitely have more competition, so you need to be more attractively priced.
And we're also seeing that, people are taking longer to buy. Like the buyers today, they're usually, it used to be 24 when you buy. Now it's 35, 30. So what we're also saying, and the comment was made today, is that, they plan to stay in a house for a lot longer. So I'm going to buy the house that I'm going to stay in for many, many, many years. And so the turnover doesn't occur quite as frequently, and that's fine. But that's the problem with buying a house later in life, is that I'm at a different stage in my life. I'm not going to buy one, trade it till I finally get to the one that I want. And that is a noticeable change in how houses are being sold today as compared to years ago. I love the fact that the government's really, they're really taking note of the housing market, and they're trying to assist with first-time buyers, particularly to help them get into the market.
There's a lot of money being invested in local Canadian industries to hopefully get modular homes built, which will allow us to build houses quicker than we have before. The provincial government and the federal government think that there's a lot of investment to happen, and at least everyone is on the same page. And despite the amount of money that some people may agree need to be shifted from here to there, housing has been this priority. So if we can get modular homes actually more popular than they have in Ontario, then maybe we can see some homes actually being built in a timely fashion.
Yeah, the bottom line too is that you're going to have to get governments to cooperate on it. That's to be part of the execution of this thing, which is a lot of people are talking about. How will this be executed so it can be done quickly, and that we can get houses built that people can live in, and whether they're modular or not, modular homes are perfectly fine.
So modular house would be able to be built all year long because it's being built section by section in like a protected and
in plan.
Yeah, and so basically they're building it inside of a warehouse, so to speak, whatever it might be, across Ontario, and then they're taking piece by piece to the site and building it.
Yeah, and this all arrives on site, and it's like putting it all together. And that time is probably a couple of weeks as opposed to months, right? Yeah. So, it's going to be quicker. It's going to be, it's just as good as any other home that's being built in terms of, its life expectancy and everything else.
Yeah. You could create a beautiful home. You would have no idea that it's a modular home. The way that they're designing today, you can build a 2-story home. You
just recently went through one, didn't you?
Yeah, well, in Quebec I did. So this is something that Quebec's been doing for a long time. And I walked through a 3-story home, and you would have no idea how it was built. Very modern, and something I think that a lot of people would be interested in seeing that kind of product this way.
If you're trying to catch up, millions of homes that we're talking about here, you've got to introduce that type of product to the market to catch up.
It's a new year in 2026. We'll see what happens, but nothing's going to happen this year. That's all we have for you this month. But like I said earlier, we hope to bring some more exciting things to you in the following months. So stay tuned. And if you have any questions regarding real estate in Windsor-Essex, please reach out to a Royal Lepage Binder agent. We are always happy to help. So thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, and don't forget to check our website at rlpbinder.ca.